What's up guys, Ryan back here again for another crypto update video. It is March 10th, Saturday, and crypto is interesting these past few days. So we saw a pretty big drop recently in Bitcoin and basically the whole market. And right now we're floating about 9,300. Oh wow, it actually dropped quite a bunch. Just looking at it now, it was 9,300 last time I looked. So we were having relatively a green day today for most of the market. Wow, what is this? Tether. So we'll see how this day ends, but yeah, we're starting to see a bit of a drop, so that should be interesting. Volume seems to be dying down a bit, which everybody's really scratching their head. We don't really know what is going on. It's a little scary. But I invested in it because I believe in it and I know it's going to really be a game changer. It's just in the short term, it's a little scary, as everybody's probably aware. So anyway, that's where we're at. Seeing mostly green today, as the past few days we were seeing a lot of red with the big sell-off from, if you guys haven't heard, there was a guy at Mt. Gox, which was one of the first exchanges, one of the bigger exchanges, which actually got hacked. But one of the trust fund managers sold off a lot of Bitcoin. I think it was like 36,000 Bitcoin. And that's happened a few times in the past, but no one's really noticed. I guess because we just knew that we were in a bear market and we were heading down already. But now that we were already down pretty far, you see this big sell-off. You kind of notice a little bit more. So that, and then there were some other SEC articles that came out and caused a lot of sell-offs to happen. So we'll see. We'll see. These next few days are going to be really interesting. If we go back down to 8,000, below 8,000, 6,000, there are some pretty big, serious support and resistance levels down around, it was about 3,000 or so. We see that we hit about 6,000. We know that that's a pretty major support level. So we'll see. I probably have to adjust this now because this past hour seems to just have happened. You guys can see that big red candlestick. I'll zoom down to about half an hour. So interesting. Let me see if I can turn the volume on. I would cover news right now, but I'm just seeing this, so I want to check out what's going on. RSI is dipping down. We've actually crossed at the 30-minute. So, wow, that's crazy. So we're seeing that if we crossed over, I've been following a few other guys who are really into the technical analysis and what's called Elliott waves. Different formations of rises and dips, and if you get the right pattern, you can kind of predict what's going to happen next, which is really interesting. It's really interesting to on a consistent basis know that if we dip down a certain level, that we're probably going to rise up to another level and be able to predict that pretty accurately. Like I was talking in one of the last videos about Fibonacci trends and different levels that it hits. So what he was saying is if we cross over about 9,500 and we do that with a lot of confidence, a lot of volume, we're looking like we might be able to hit about 10,000. But since I watched that video, I'm now seeing that we're seeing this big dip. So I don't know. Everybody's really scratching their head recently. Some of the well-known Ellioticians and technical analysis guys who are doing this full time and playing with tens of $1,000s at a time. Um, they don't really know. So well, it's going to be really interesting. Really interesting. So um, anyway, I wanted to go over that. Try and sound like I know what I'm talking about. Getting there, learning a little bit more and more every day. Kind of obsess about different things at a time. For a long time I was really, really obsessed with real estate. I still am, but I just pick up on little topics and I just obsess about learning everything I can about it. Kind of like I did for Amazon, and now I'm doing for cryptocurrencies. But it's always important to be able to um, keep everything else going at the same time. You don't drop something that you've been working on for a while and just forget about it. Especially if you make pretty sizable investments in it. So anyway, that's that. So some of the most recent articles I came out with that came out, I want to go over with you guys. So if you haven't heard, recently Facebook banned a lot of ads, mostly for ICOs. Initial coin offering is buying a token or a coin before it hits the market, right? Initial coin offering, kind of like IPOs in the stock market. So they banned ads. These companies be able to advertise to the public to have them sign up for their ICO. But looks like an article just came out that the FBI kind of pressured Facebook to do that, and now they're doing that same thing with Google. Um, it's tough because they're taking away revenue from these big companies. The new and the hot thing is cryptocurrencies, and they could probably charge a little bit more for ads. And for some reason, we don't really know why, but for some reason the FBI is pressuring them to turn those off. My best guess is probably because there's a lot of scams out there. A lot of people are being scammed. Like you guys heard about BitConnect, which um, if you watch some of my earlier videos, I was talking about putting a lot of money into that. Luckily, I didn't do that. So um, that was earlier on when I had no idea what I was doing cryptocurrencies. Um, luckily, I didn't fall for that. Very happy. Um, so anyway, yeah, it's interesting as crypto becomes more and more popular, and it hits the eyes of the FBI, what they do to try and control and regulate this. It's all about regulations, and the government wants to have a hand on it, have control on this, which it's a give and take. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. The good thing is it'll prevent a lot more scams and people, the average Joe, of losing his house, And the bad thing is they will want to tax it and control it, and that's really not the whole meaning behind cryptocurrencies. The whole meaning behind cryptocurrencies is to have it decentralized so that not one person can influence it and do whatever the hell they want. You know, just like I'm seeing that a lot more privacy coins and tokens are going to be popular this year because they won't be able to track it, right? Nobody wants somebody eyeing it, how much money they have and who they're giving their money to. Um, so it'll be interesting. That and decentralized exchanges. So just like Coinbase or Binance, these big companies are controlled. They have one office and they have a whole bunch of employees and stuff like that. But with decentralized exchanges, it's essentially everybody who's part of it, to my understanding. All right, so everybody who's a part of it, they share um, a little piece of the exchange. It's kind of hard to describe. It's kind of like how Bitcoin works, the whole blockchain. Um, how everybody has their own ledger, right? And you all cross, and I should probably look into a little bit more to sound a little bit more confident. I'm sorry about that, but decentralized, so it's split up. The whole buying and selling is shared between a lot more people than just one central company or location. Um, so I'll look into that for next one. Sorry, went on a little tangent there. All right, so the next news that I thought was really interesting is Sierra Leone um, used blockchain to do their most recent election, um, which is as blockchain is becoming more and more popular, it's just it's really cool to know that um, it's actually being used for big things, right? For 400,000 ballots. Um, so it's it's just really cool to be part of this and kind of learning as it's going. I just want to share that because um, we're seeing it start to be accepted and be put to use. So anyway, the last one I want to share with you guys was, if you guys haven't heard about John McAfee, he's one of the creators of McAfee Security. It's that little kind of like Norton antivirus, a little security software that's on your computer. Um, and anyway, he's really into crypto right now. So he said, in July 2017, he predicted that Bitcoin would be 500,000 by the end of 2020, but he ups his target price to say $1 million by 2020. And if that doesn't happen, let's see where they say he's going to eat his blank on live television. There's a really well-known guy putting this big bet out there that by 2020, right? So it's a few months into 2018, less than 2 years, we're going to see Bitcoin rise from about $10,000, right? We'd say it's about $10,000 to $1 million. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine saying, like, I own, 20, 40, 50 Bitcoin, and they're each worth $1 million? There's some people out there that own, a fair share of Bitcoin. 20 Bitcoin is pretty significant. But it's also kind of scary too, right? Because what I was just talking about earlier about Mt. Gox and the guy who sold, I think it was 3,600 Bitcoin, 3,500 Bitcoin, and just tanked the price. Somebody who's still holding on to that many Bitcoin and it worth a couple $1 million or $1 million, it's a little scary to see what could happen there. So we'll see. So anyway, that's that for this video. So if you guys are liking these updates and joining along as I'm testing my technical analysis and checking out some of these coins and what's happening with them. So yeah, I'm gonna practice and join right alongside some of the smart guys, and report back to you guys. Try and help you guys out. If you're into this, digging it, I would really appreciate subscribing and get notifications when I come out with these videos, and try and do it as much as I can. I love to do it every day, but sometimes stuff comes up and can't always get there, as anybody does. I work full time, so that's that. And yeah, if you want to check out the course I took, there's a link down in the description about the cryptocurrency course. I think they have a little bit of a discount on it, I don't know, but if you use that, or if you sign up for Coinbase or Binance using my links. It helps me out, helps the channel, and really appreciate it. So I'll catch you guys in the next one. All right, see ya.